whoever came up with this idea should get like a stake in every team, get like lifetime tickets, get a promotion, a raise.
Max's battle is going to shift from maintaining first to maintaining third in the Drivers' Championship.
Everybody else, I mean, the highlight for him this season has been almost putting his manager into a wall. But other than that, like,
You're right, Matthew. They do sound amateurish. You're like, okay, turn to the left, turn to the left, turn to the right, turn to the right. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, I don't know what it is that needs to happen, but something needs to happen quickly. And I feel like Lewis is going to lose his shit.
Double dash. Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone, back to the Turn 14 podcast. I'm Matt. I'm here with Ben and Mark. It's been a crazy weekend. Just finished the Miami GP, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. That was
doing
awesome.
Another episode.
Yeah.
Wow, we're really pumping these out. I'm really happy.
I know.
I'm really proud of us.
You know, us and now 10, 15 views on YouTube. We love it. Let's go.
We're trying.
Let's go.
We'll
Pushing
look
for
back
16. Okay.
I know. Oh man, what a weekend it's been.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It was crashes. It was water. It was insane.
It was absolutely insane.
A lot better than last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know. We were there in
Yeah.
person. So
Well, I mean, you could. That's an argument that we can have for sure because I mean, we had Lando's win, but then they also had Lego cars, which was insane.
yeah, I can't wait to get into that.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So let's get started. So first of all, I want to congratulate Max Verstappen for having his baby.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. You know, he was able to miss the what is it, the media day,
The press,
which he loves to do.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to at least say like congrats to him. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Those genes are going to be insane. He has produced an amazing baby. I'm sure it'll be in a cart as soon as possible.
Yes. Yeah, he's a girl dad, so you know, let's see.
Nice.
I wonder where things are gonna be when she's of age to start driving and all that stuff. So it's probably gonna be cool. So yeah, for sure. So let's jump into it. So race weekend, Miami Grand Prix. There was a lot going on, not just in Miami, the race, but we did some special thing at Fela, New York City, which was very exciting. We did a giveaway of a Charles Leclerc hat and an Oscar Piastri jersey. We did a bunch of interviews with fans, asking them questions. It was really exciting.
Yeah, it was an awesome time. I think big shout out to Fela for letting us do that. It was a new experience for all of us.
Yeah.
We've never done anything like this. In fact, everything that we're doing, we've really never done before. So for us to go out there and for everyone to be so open and willing to speak with us and participate and ultimately support with us was amazing. So thank you to everyone who showed up and showed love. I think that was super cool and definitely makes me feel comfortable enough to maybe it again at one point.
Yeah, no, for sure. Shout out to the Aussies. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's gonna be a video actually coming out of our experience there. You should either have seen that. It should be coming out before this or after this.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure, but we've definitely put something together to kind of highlight our experience there.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll jump into it, but it was definitely a cool time. Yeah, Matthew, I wish you were there.
I know. Next time.
Yeah.
For sure. Is that you think you guys will do this again during the next Grand Prix in the States, or?
I mean, I would love to. Again, the love and support was awesome.
Yeah.
And I would do anything to kind of have that experience again. And the people that we met seemed to be open to doing something like that as well. So it
was really cool, honestly. Like the energy, it added to the energy of the weekend, honestly, and it made it a very special weekend for us. And just how open, like you were saying, you know. And I think for us, it's just like let me see how I could break the ice. Let me let people know, like, listen, like we're not going to be asking you technical questions, like. Whether you're just new, casually watching, I feel like we had a mix of everybody. We had like the newbies that are just getting into sport. We had people that are like full blown technical, like they've been watching for a long time. Then we had some old school guys that were there, like talking about some of the races back in the day. Like, just it's really cool to see like a different perspective from everybody. You know?
We had a guy who actually went over to Monaco, which was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I mean, I think it's great. I think we get the whole gambit of people.
Yeah.
I think that's all you can really ask for when you do something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely want to do it again. Just a matter of figuring out what race, right?
Yeah.
And
right.
We have a couple morning races coming up, which I don't really know how that's going to work. Plus, I'm not going to be here anyway, so like I'm sure we'll figure out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, and hopefully do another giveaway. You know, it seemed like we got a lot of excitement around that. You know, people were excited to win, and we had a lot of entries, and it was a cool way to create some engagement.
Oh, so. Absolutely, it was good. I mean, this weekend was packed.
Yeah,
sprint weekend. A lot of crazy stuff that's happening. So let's jump right into it. Let's run through it all.
Yeah,
because there is a lot.
Yeah.
So sprint weekend.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And
let's talk about
qualifying for that and seeing our boy Kimi.
Yes.
And I was not expecting at all, guys. I really wasn't. But
how perfect it is for him to do what he did, and then his documentary drops.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Kimi Antonelli is becoming like my favorite, man. It's like he's great. I enjoy watching him race. It was really impressive to see him never race that track before, and was just pole position sprint.
It's raw talent, man.
Yeah,
he from the beginning Q1, even I think in practice he was showing off like how quick he was. And by a lot too. George, blew George out of the water.
Yeah.
But he was great.
Yeah, you know, and he also made history. I don't know if you know, being the youngest pole sitter, you know, to make pole. So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Anything he does moving forward is probably going to be history making.
For sure.
But yeah, that boy was quick.
But it's hard, you know, during the actual sprint and even the race, it's not able to keep it up.
Yeah.
Not like I'm just curious what you think it takes for him to actually get to be a serious competitor. I mean, I guess it's all new to him, obviously, and
but he's never raced any of these guys before, so
it's very clear.
Welcome to the big leagues. Like, you are young, you're hungry, but you know, so is Oscar, Lando, Max, and of course, Max got like 4 titles under him.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna make it easy for anybody. So I think in time he will start to learn
for sure
when he's actually doing wheel-to-wheel battles with the top guys, and he's gonna start to realize like, okay, this is how Oscar races, this is how Lando races, this is how Max races, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I think if he's constantly fighting up there, I think in time he'll start learning the driving styles of his competitors, and I feel like he'll start adapting. And I feel like, you know, it seems like from so far he's a pretty clean driver. So obviously, you know, he's trying to give space, and you know, I think he was just trying to, for him, was just let me finish the race.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, let me not go too crazy, especially me being up there.
He seems like a quick learner too. Like sure we'll be seeing more of him.
I'm excited to see that.
We were interviewing someone, and they said it pretty perfectly. It was his introduction to F1 in terms of like being up there with the big dogs. Like, I know on the radio he said something about, he pushed me off. Was like, Kimmy, this is lap 1. Like, this is just where
what it is.
You know, champions are made right here. You need to be able to handle the pressure of being up there. And this is pretty much an exact replica of what happened. I believe it was Jeddah or Saudi Arabia.
Jeddah.
It was Jeddah with Oscar and Max.
Mm-hmm. You even said it in an interview. Like, the guy, he's just like, it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So I think he should just take rule out of Max's book and just fucking, like, if they pushing you out, just fucking cut the corner, keep it going, right? Like, I get it, you know, he's young, he's trying to be, you know, respectful and all, but like, screw that, man.
Yeah.
He's
like, let your team in total freaking figure out whether you gained an advantage or not. Let them handle all that stuff. Just keep racing. But, you know, I guess he didn't want to crash. So, like, it's it's fair.
Yeah. That's true. And I mean, the race started a little bit wet too. So that was interesting. They kind of threw a little bit of a mix of all of this.
Yeah, I was actually
it's the first time
kind of disappointed a little that they delayed it. It feels like the wet tires are kind of useless in F1 at the moment.
If they're not going to use them, right?
Right. And so they waited until it was good for inters and started, which I mean it worked out, but I just don't get it. I don't get what's going on with that, but
yeah, I mean, I guess it dried up pretty quickly. You remember how hot it was when we were there, so I'm sure that thing just dried up super quickly, and they were ready to get back on there. And I mean, ultimately, it was a wild race.
Yeah, it's just all about standing water with the wet, right? Like the one you would need to bring out wet tires when you start to see standing water, puddles, and all that kind of stuff. And maybe if they were thinking like, oh, like it's probably going to slow down like the rain soon. Let's just delay it and see if it just dries up, which it did. And but getting into it, right? The race, right before freaking Charles Leclerc right into the wall. That I don't know what that was about. Yeah,
I don't know, man. Ferrari, first of all, coming into the weekend with that disgraceful livery was already just a bad omen. Like, so many memes out there. I'm like, come on, Ferrari. One time, like I would love to just get a list of their roster of the people who are responsible for things and have a conversation with them. Like, what are we doing?
Like, come on.
Just do something right. Make the people happy. Like, I don't know. It was
hard.
Really frustrating.
We just need something different. Like,
shout out to our RB though for making the pink.
Yeah.
That's delivery.
They had like the best one last year too, in my opinion. Like,
the rainbow.
They know how to do that, but
but it's funny because like Miami is the one race where they go all out. They go the extra mile with deliveries and all that stuff. And I know there are people that not real big fans of Miami Grand Prix, but I guess maybe I'm biased. But it's honestly a really fun track to be at. I feel like, especially racing in the game, it's a lot of fun. But it's an exciting race. So I would say if anybody has an opportunity, like, definitely go.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
The one.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot better.
Like a little mini Vegas, like a preemptive Vegas race, because everyone shows up. All of the celebs come out. They really make a huge spectacle of this.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Well, with Charles Leclerc and Ferrari, that whole thing, but it's the race itself. Yeah, it is unfortunate. But they were able to get the car fixed before qualifying, which is cool. So the race itself was pretty wild. There was a lot of chaos in the first corner with Kimi getting, pushed out. There was some crashes, some pit lane incidences that happened. It was kind of everybody. I feel like they started the race at the crossover of when things started to dry. It was wet enough for inters, but then it started to dry. Obviously, as the cars start racing, they're drying up the track as they go. So, what we had, like, what do I have on the notes here?
Somebody was even on full wets. Somebody was on full wets, if I remember correctly. Carlos Sainz.
At the start, I remember because I was like, I should bet on this guy. He's starting in the wet. Let's see what they do. And then they all waited, and it just he switched it out. But
the incident. What are your thoughts on the incident that happened in the pit lane with Red Bull and Kimi Antonelli?
Oh, man.
That's a team issue. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like I get everything is happening, but like, come on.
Yeah, I think it's weird because typically in sprints you're not going into pits at all. I mean that's one of the good things about the shorter race, right? But I don't know. Even Max was like, "Come on, guys! Like this isn't."
Again, I think people's expectations was that it was going to remain wet throughout the whole time of the race, but it started to dry up, and then the slicks started to be faster. So if people were thinking, and freaking, there was a safety car. Yeah, there was a lot of incidences that was happening. Freaking Lawson putting Alonso into a wall, but I think, you know, even Lewis called it like let's change our tires to slicks.
Oh,
and
he was so close. I think had it not been for that safety car at the end, I think that was Lawson and Alonso.
Yeah.
I think Lewis was gonna pull a win.
Yeah,
he was
I think so too.
Flying through.
Yeah,
with the softs.
Yeah, he really was. But again, like we had somebody ask, like, I don't understand why they pitted, but like I think it had to do with just the track drying up, you know. And then the inses are overheating if there's no water. Like you see them driving onto like the wet side of the track to cool the tires down, and they were just like, I'm sliding all over the place. Let's just throw on some slicks, some softs, and just see where we could land, you know. And I think all that chaos, people were just like, what the fuck is going on? Right?
I would love to be a fly on the wall in Lawson, in RB's like office with Lawson. Like, bro, like what? Come on.
Yeah.
Like we've given you every chance possible. We've given you a second chance with RB. Like, come on. I don't know what it's going to take. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. This poor guy has really just had a terrible start to the season, but like, I mean, am I gonna make a prediction? Like maybe Lawson's not gonna be an RB by the end of this year. Who knows?
Yeah.
Because he's not really giving them any chance.
Daniel Ricciardo just making a way back. Who knows?
Yes, we did have some Danny Rick fans out there, so that was cool.
I'm sure. I think everybody's a Danny Rick fan.
That's true.
Yeah, there's still a chance, you know, Cadillac's joining in. So
they did an announcement that weekend too.
They did do an announcement. It looks fire, and I saw all over the internet that Checo was around.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
still some time to tell. We'll see.
So would this be for 2027?
No, 2026.
No, next year.
Wait, really?
Next year,
Yeah, they're adding another team. So we have 21. Shoot. We'll have 11 teams and
22 cars.
22 cars.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's going to add that. People wanted that. And I think the cars are going to be slightly smaller. Well, I think they're going to be a lot smaller. We're hoping for more like wheel-to-wheel overtakes. And obviously with Monaco being such a narrow track too, that's, hopefully the races there are more exciting. I think the only thing about the sprint that was disappointing was that it ended on the safety, which gave Lando Norris the win. Yeah. We had Lando, Oscar, and then Lewis. So that was, and I feel bad for Kimi because he was really like, dude, he was in his zone in Miami, and he did great. And I do think the incident with Max, I think what was happening is people were like, why was he turning in? I think he was going to pit.
Yeah.
And then Max came out and he had to and boom, they made contact and he kept going.
Yeah.
He couldn't just stop. So he kept going. So he had a front wing damage. He had to go all back around. I don't even know if he did pit again or if he just ended it under. Because then when that happened, the safety car came out and all this stuff happened. So, it's unfortunate. And I feel for him, man.
One of the people that we interviewed actually brought up a good point. It was like they should, I guess his point was, why is the penalty given to the driver when it's technically the team's fault for releasing them too soon? And he said that they should try and implement maybe a different penalty, maybe a financial penalty to the team, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
it's a good take. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's everyone's still competing for the constructors, right? And it's a team sport to some extent, and
it is.
I mean, I think it is what it is. I mean, that happens some other time. I know there was an incident last year. I know, I think it was Ricardo had a penalty. He had to go into the pits and wait, and one of the garage guys there touched the car, and they added another 5 seconds to it. And it's like, well,
it's a team sport. It really is. At the end of the day,
So.
I mean, that would be a cool concept, though. Maybe constructor points off or a fine. Who knows? But maybe points on constructors would probably be, more reasonable. Yeah, but then again, it's like, I don't know, right?
Well, I guess that brings us to
qualifying.
Which,
by the way, during our interview that we did, the recap, I was so close. On my predictions on who's going to be getting pole for qualifying, like that top 3 podium. Like I said. Kimi Antonelli, Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, and it wound up being Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Kimi Antonelli. So, and I said it was a wild card, but like I felt good about that, honestly.
I honestly am just still so taken back by Max just still bringing the car to P1. Like he wasn't that fast in sprint qualifying, and then he comes out of nowhere and still gets P1. Like I just don't understand the physiology of this guy is insane.
Especially the weekend he has a kid.
Yeah.
And everyone's, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say you expected him to ease up. It's Max Verstappen, but
I don't think he ever will.
He just fucking kills it every time, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, it only does so much when you're in the Red Bull.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to really have it put together for Miami, even last year. But
yeah, I mean, I think, a lot of people thinking, with him having the kid, he'll back off and be a little bit more like cautious, but no. I just think Max is just built different.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see Kimi up there though, again.
Yeah.
Like showing what he's, how skilled he is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I was honestly really disappointed in Ferrari's performance. Lewis getting out Q2 was fucking gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
And I said it when we were there, like, I'm starting to believe it's more, I don't think, I'm not going to put 100% blame on Lewis with why he's not performing so well. I'm starting to really believe that the car is just not clicking for both of them, right? Charles Leclerc struggling, Lewis is obviously struggling, but it seems to be a Ferrari thing, especially during the race, which we could get into if you want.
They're just not meshing right now.
Yeah.
Communication, strategy, it is just actually a little painful to watch. And I'm not sure if y'all heard the radio messaging between Lewis and his team, but it's like just cringe, like just really just like fuck, they need to get their shit together.
Yeah, it feels very like amateur.
Very
how they're dealing with it all. I heard though that Ferrari gets some sort of like legacy payment. Like regardless of how well they do in F1, they are still getting a good chunk of the money because they've been there since the start. And so,
really,
I wonder if maybe like they just don't have the motivation to do it. I mean, I'm sure they do, but it's. I get it. I wonder if you can just kind of like take this away. You guys got to actually start performing.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if that would affect something. Listen, dude, they've been the fucking clown show for the past couple of years, man, and it hurts to say it because I mean I like Ferrari a lot. I like Charles Leclerc. I love Lewis Hamilton. I think Fred is great as a principal. I have no idea if it's just their strategy. Lewis's engineers talking to him while he's braking, trying to overtake in the radio, and I understand how that could be frustrating, especially when you're trying to focus and you got this guy in your ear, like at the worst possible moment. So I think there's also that dynamic that's still trying to, he's not Bono, and
they've been doing this forever. Like, what is going on? You're right, Matthew. They do sound amateurish. Like, okay, turn to the left, turn to the left, turn to the right, turn to the right. Like, come on. Like, I don't know what it is that needs to happen, but something needs to happen quickly. And I feel like Lewis is going to lose his shit.
And so is Charles Leclerc. Like, he's also, he kind of did too, Matthew, if you want to go into that.
God, hearing him talk to them on the radio like that, I'm like, fucking finally. Like, come on. Like, it was just so funny. So funny just hearing them like, we'll get back to you. Like, have a team while you're at it, right? Like, that's what he said. Come on.
That was insane. Like, I haven't been watching Formula One for a while, but I've never heard Lewis like that. It just seems so out of character. It just seems wild. And like when they try to mention this stuff in like the interviews, he kind of just pushes it off like it's it's nothing, or
Yeah. I think both drivers are really frustrated, but I think that's what Ferrari needs. They need somebody with the experience that Lewis has to fucking light a fire on their ass to get their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because it's like Lewis is a 7-time world champ, you know, and he's bringing so much value to the team. And he, you know, a lot of people, you know, there's all this debate between whether it's actually Lewis's skill set dropping off. I don't think so, honestly, because look at Fernando Alonso. He's the oldest driver on the grid right now, and he's still crushing it even at his age. You know, I don't think it's such a significant drop in like performance, natural you know, skill. While as you get older, you know, obviously, you know, you can't really compare him to Kimi Antonelli, but still, like, you know, I don't know. I think that they need that. They need Lewis to be like, yo, like, they're bringing that side out of him, which is. Which we haven't seen in a long time, and maybe, you know, we all have seen Charles Leclerc get upset and frustrated, but he's been with them forever. You know, they gave him the seat of being, you know, the longest contract you know ever and all that stuff. So, but Charles Leclerc is also starting to get really frustrated. You know, so
I want to see him get even more frustrated. I want to see Charles be like, guys. I want him to be like when he was pissed in Monaco or something. I want him to be that pissed.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring that
they
back.
have both of the drivers like, guys, like, we need to do something. Maybe that might move things in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping things start to turn around, honestly, and I don't know if that requires like new strategists, new, and I don't know if a new engineer is going to really make a difference or not. But it's just the team dynamic seems to be off. Something's off. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, but I hope. Listen, they're supposed to come with upgrades in Imola. Let's see what happens, right? Yeah. But it's enough about Ferrari.
Enough about Ferrari. They frustrate me. They frustrate me so much. The other person who frustrates me lately has been Yuki. I don't even know if he was able to get there was like a qualification where he didn't even get a time on the board.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of people, I think, at the sprint qualifying just kind of got screwed over at the end. And but Yuki, I mean, it's, I don't know. I don't know what to expect anymore. I mean, I know he had a 5-second penalty that he was able to maintain just to get P10 still.
He did get a.
It's hard to tell if that was Yuki pulling it together to maintain the gap or Hadjar just missing out.
Yeah.
But
we had some Williams up there though.
Yeah, that was impressive. Williams is.
In fact, Williams has been finishing the points almost every single weekend.
Yeah.
Williams is doing great. I'm really enjoying to see how good they've improved so much.
Yeah. I think that's something worth getting into a little bit. How, I mean, they were one of the best teams a long time ago, and they've had some falling out and things just didn't work. I know the CEO's daughter took over for a bit. I forget her name, but this guy, James Vowles, is just every time I hear him talk, I'm like I believe this guy knows what the fuck he's doing.
He came from Mercedes. So you know
they said he was a genius.
He's turning the team around, and they have a legacy of like in Formula One, you know, and it's really nice to see them
and
in points and stuff. Honestly,
Albon is like killing it too. It was hard to sort of gauge him a while ago, but now that he's, you know, teammates with Sainz, like he's really fucking good. And I wonder how well they're gonna do next year. They seem to be throwing all their money at that, and I'd like to see Albon kind of competing for a championship. I like him. He's cool.
Yeah, he is cool. Any other like highlights from the race itself before I wanted to jump into something a little different from before?
Go for it.
The Lego driver parade.
That was fun.
Whoever came up with this idea should get like a stake in every team, get like lifetime tickets, get a promotion, a raise, whatever at Lego. This was the most fun,
it's ridiculous,
most entertaining thing to see. And all right, so for anybody that doesn't know, typically there is a driver's parade where the drivers get onto a truck, they go around, they're getting interviewed, well, and they're just saying hi to everybody. Yeah, exactly. And typically the truck is going a lot faster, and it's pretty quick, 1, 2, 3. However, this time around, they made life-size Formula One cars out of Legos, and they put all the drivers in them.
It's like Double Dash.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like Double Dash.
Exactly. And the laughs, watching Lewis Hamilton's POV video, the genuine laugh that was just going on. Pierre Gasly just trying to squeeze between him and George Russell. Like,
crashing
it was
into each other,
breaking the fucking the value of those Lego sets probably went up even more.
So funny.
Breaking it during the race. Then
for me, the funniest moment.
This shit was hilarious.
Did you see the room that I sent you, Matthew?
Yes, I did.
With Max Verstappen. So there comes turn 14. Funny enough, it's the chicane right before the long straight. Everyone gets to it and they just go straight. They take the cut. Like, they're not obviously going to go over there. Everyone's cutting. I see 3, 4 Lego cars pass. Obviously 20 miles an hour, but they're going. Then all of a sudden, you see Max take the actual chicane, hits the apex like a fucking pro that he is, and absolutely crushes it. Oh, like, if anyone had to do that, Max got it.
Of course, it's Max. And then the music. It's just the funniest
best
shit.
thing ever. It's just like, if you can bundle who Max is in a 10-second clip, that's the clip.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That was the funniest shit.
That was too
great.
It was just wholesome in so many ways too. Just seeing all of them like driving these slow Lego cars and taking it so serious because they're so competitive.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was honestly the highlight of the whole entire weekend.
Yeah.
I wish they did that last year.
I know, man.
That would have been awesome. Then you see the aftermath of the freaking Lego cars. Like, one of the wheels is broken. They got the front wing out. It is crazy, man. It was the funny people going into the wall. Like, oh man, that was honestly great. And I don't know if they'll ever do that again. But there's been a lot of hype about Lego and the collaboration with F1, and I had no idea they were gonna do this.
Yeah, they're gonna release some stuff. I think I saw something like that.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the race though itself, I mean, McLaren blew it out of the water.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they were like 30 seconds ahead of Mercedes.
Yeah. But my thing with the race that was exciting was watching how many people at Fela are McLaren fans and how many don't like Max.
Yeah.
But I was talking to this guy next to me. I was like, Max is not going to make it easy. He's not going to make it easy for nobody.
Yeah.
He's like, you are like, you have the faster car, but that guy knows how to defend well.
Yeah.
And he was not making it easy for them at all to pass. Yeah. And I love seeing that, man. Some real good wheel-to-wheel racing, and regardless, with McLaren winning, whatever, like, I give it to them. They did great.
We did meet, like, I mean,
Lando should have won, though. I was kind of upset, but it's hard. It's a love-hate thing. I like McLaren.
I know.
We did meet one big Max Verstappen fan. In fact, she was there at the bar, and she came up to us to say hi. But she actually has a tattoo, Matthew, that says "Simply Lovely" on her arm.
That's awesome.
She has "Lights Out" and "Away We Go" on her left arm.
Wow.
And I think she has like another Max Verstappen.
I think she has like 33, I think, which used to be his number.
Yeah.
Dude, the bar was a lot of fun. It was cool seeing all these people.
It was awesome, and the representation from not just Formula One fans, but from the women that were there, was super cool to see.
Yeah. That was really cool. Yeah.
Really, really loved it. They actually ended up canceling one of the F1 Academy races, didn't they?
Yeah, because of the rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And one thing I learned about the F1 Academy was they do this, like the wild card thing, which I think is really cool.
That was so cool. Do you know about this, Matthew?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so every country that they go to for every race, right, they wind up taking a local driver and putting them on the grid to race. Yeah, which I think is cool.
That was cool.
And I think the whole idea behind F1 Academy is cool. It's like bringing eyeballs. Let's bring that representation to motorsports, and let's build a pathway to whether that be Formula One or F2 or F3. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the cars that they have are nowhere close to Formula One cars, but it does bring a sense of excitement because it is purely just racecraft that they're measured on. Yeah. Since all of the cars are kind of equal, so like qualifying was actually pretty neat. And even though I've noticed there's a lot more crashes there, but it's because all of the cars are so damn competitive and they're all the same like kind of tier. It's nuts, and they have like cool like teams. I think there's Puma. There's a Tommy Hilfiger team.
Yeah, I think American Express one too. I think it's really cool. There's a lot of money, a lot of eyeballs. Matthew, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. We talked with a lot of women there.
Yeah. They're making a show on Netflix, right? For F1 Academy. Okay.
Yeah. From last year too.
I mean, that's how I got into it all, right? Like, I think a lot of people got into F1 because of the Netflix stuff, and so I wonder how much longer it'll take until we actually get a female driver in F1.
Or at least into F3 or F2. That'll be cute. That'll be cool. Great.
That'll be cool.
Just to get them going there, because I mean a lot of these female drivers are like in the younger ages, like 19 years old or something like that.
Yeah. I think I heard they're anywhere from like 16 to like 21 or something like that. So it's like it's definitely a younger driver pool. Yeah. I think we want to make it a thing to highlight F1 Academy. I'm gonna start to pay way more attention to it, and I think talking about it on the pod and just like in general, I think is really cool. Yeah. I respect the shit out of Susie Wolf. I think what she's doing is awesome. I've always liked her. I think if anybody could pull it off, it was Susie to do it, you know? And I think it's really cool to see how much women were at the bar that knew so much about not just F1 Academy, but like Formula One in general. Yeah. And to be honest with you, like I think I said it to one of the girls there, was like, I've interviewed a lot of guys, I talked to a lot of guys, and like, I know we got stuff, you know, and I don't think anybody should be kind of like ashamed in how they got into the sport, you know. I think just enjoy it. I think it's for everybody, you know, like we said when we first started doing this. You know, you guys are newer to it. I've been watching for a long time. I don't think there's that many, you know, I think, honestly, a lot of people could be afraid or hesitant about, you know, expressing their interest in this because, you know, they are like, oh, I got into it because of Drive to Survive. I don't know. Let the people online hate as much as they want. It doesn't matter. As long as you're enjoying it, really. Yeah. At the end of the day, the drivers would love that too.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
I mean, like, again, Matt, when we were there, like when we were talking to some women about this, I mean, they are completely into like the technical aspect of it. They love the visual aspect of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just incredible to see the knowledge coming from women on, again, like you said, both F1 Academy and actual F1.
Yeah.
And for me, that was eye-opening, and I think that was really, really amazing and beautiful to see that this sport has just captured so many different people, regardless of where you're from, whether you're boy, girl, doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exciting. I love it, honestly.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I think it taps into a different part of, I think, people than maybe other sports do. I mean, you can't. It's a fast car. It's loud when you're there. Yeah. Like just that, it feels a little like, I don't know. Like it's such a unique experience, and I think that helps it kind of pull in people no matter what. It's exciting to see that there's a lot more people in general and women, I think, getting into it. So I'm really excited for the Netflix show to drop. I want to start getting to know more about like how it works. I think you mentioned something before that sometimes they like reverse the grid or something like that, which seems wild to me.
Yeah. And they do 2 races a weekend when they which I think is obviously because the cars are a lot smaller, but you can't feel them as much. But still, like that's exciting. They have like 2 races every weekend. That's well, not when they actually do race, I think they do like 6, 8 maybe races for the season. They don't follow every single race for Formula One. And I love that they are with the actual Formula One like tracks and all that stuff. Like they're there during the weekend of a Formula One race too. Because there are fans there. There are going to be a bunch of people there like that are there for the actual race that are F1 Academy is now getting the exposure. And I was saying, I think with all this stuff happening, the amount of sponsorships, the amount of fans that's probably going to grow, I hope that they get faster cars. Because with faster cars creates more excitement. And then with, obviously the skill set and all that stuff I think it's going to be cool. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And again, I would encourage all the women, like if you are into it, like the community around F1, at least when we went in Fela, was so accepting and so open. And you're going to meet a whole bunch of people who are in love with the same exact things that you are. So I encourage you to come out and come watch a race with all of us. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So one thing
go ahead, Matthew. Before I'll let you do your thing.
I was curious. We're a quarter of the way through the season now. I was keeping this point in mind just so to bring it up again. I wanted to kind of recap maybe our thoughts on all the rookies, how they've been doing so far, but just how we feel about the season in general so far, because it's been a lot, and I think. I'm curious to see if you guys think there's some teams are just done. Is there an opportunity for anyone to come back, or is it too late? Like what's all your thoughts?
Can go through the rookies. Let's just leave doing for last.
We
can discuss that whole situation.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to bring up, but we'll talk about that.
Kimi, he's amazing.
Kimi Antonelli
he's gotten the golden ticket, and he is doing fantastic. So nothing crazy to be said there. I think with a little bit more experience, he's going to dominate.
He's definitely my top.
One of the girls at the bar made a really cool prediction.
Yeah,
world championship before the age 21. Kimi Antonelli. Yeah, and I think we have that on film too.
Give him 3 years. Is it?
Honestly, at this rate,
sounds doable.
Yeah,
there's a lot that's going to happen. She even predicted George Russell 2026 regulations. To be up there as well. With world champion. So she was obviously a Mercedes fan. But Which honestly, I wouldn't say she's too far from the truth. Yeah, and what can actually happen.
Yeah. But so what? So Kimi Antonelli.
I'd say my number 2 at the moment is Hadjar.
After yes.
I mean, love Hadjar.
I would love to see him in an actually competitive car, and nothing but impressed. I don't think he's disappointed at all.
Well, because he has Lawson as a partner, and Lawson's taking all the shit things.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he is also out qualifying him and doing better than him too.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just working for him. He's doing well. He has Lawson shitting the bed. He's just everything's working for him.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the girls over there did not like Lawson at all.
Poor guy.
I was just Drive to Survive definitely got to you on that one, but I heard he's a really nice guy. So Hadjar, who's your number 3? Who do you think?
I like Ali.
Ali Behrman, yeah.
Ali. It's tough to pick Bortoleto because he's in a kick car.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Poor guy is just driving around. He's in the back, just making sure everyone's okay, I guess.
But maybe that's a good thing because look what's happening with everybody. I know. Look what's happening with everybody else. I mean, the highlight for him this season has been almost putting his manager into a wall. But other than that, I think at the end of the day, I would rather be in his position than Lawson or doing, obviously, which we could then segue into. Oh my God. But Lawson, I honestly, even though so Kimi, Hadjar, Ali Behrman, we have Bortoleto. Yeah. And I would put Doohan before Lawson because Doohan was pretty good, but Lawson's just been doing really bad, and unfortunately, he's no longer on the Alpine driver. It's confirmed that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's been confirmed for 5 races that they're putting Colapinto
in. They really mean the rest of the season. Let's be honest. Like, he's going to be racing for the rest of the season.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think Alpine has been doing great at all. I mean, Gasly has his moments, obviously, that's really impressive. But I think it feels too early to just completely dismiss Doohan. Obviously, we'll see how Colapinto does, and he killed it last year, but he also didn't really have that high of a bar to clear last year. Yeah. And so I don't know. I'm hopeful. I like Colapinto though. I like seeing him last year.
I think he should have been on the seat. Yeah, I think he should have been in the seat from the beginning. He's pretty talented.
Yeah.
He has a big fan base too.
Yeah.
And I think with that comes sponsorship money and all that stuff too, which is cool. So
it had to be expected though. I mean, they're all rookies. Like, I'm sure there was some point like, hey, if you don't perform, we're just gonna have to put someone else in the seat. Like, it's just, as a rookie, you should already anticipate that.
Yeah. But Alpine's whole entire team needs a restructuring.
Well, it's underway right now. It's happening.
It's happening right now. Yeah.
With not the best guy from what I hear.
Yeah.
I'm actually really upset about that. I'm with Flavio. I'm not the biggest fan of why. I thought he was banned for life, but apparently not. I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird. Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
See, all we could do is wait and just be on that roller coaster ride with them, and the shit show that's happening at Alpine.
Yeah. But as far as like just teams in general, I guess with.
Oh wait, Lawson, last one.
Yeah.
He's on the back of our rookie card grid thing that we're doing right now. I mean, we all know what's happening with him. I feel so bad.
Yeah.
I know he's a talented driver, but I just think the switch got to him.
Yeah, I think
that
so.
for sure. His confidence isn't there.
Yeah.
And hopefully he gets it back. But let's see. So
Yeah,
we'll end it at that. Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, obviously McLaren is killing it this year. I don't know where Red Bull will land, but part of me feels like Max's battle is going to shift from maintaining first to maintaining third in the drivers' championship with George Russell. I think they're only like 6 points behind at this point. George has been consistent. I think.
Yeah.
And that's going to be, I think, a hard pill to swallow for Max at some point that I don't think the Red Bull's going to be able to keep it up.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't had any major upgrades yet. There's still a lot of that to happen too.
True.
Yeah.
Like, look what happened last year. It wasn't until the Miami Grand Prix where things started to shake up.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going into Imola, which is typically when upgrades come in and, they're going to start upgrading their cars. Now we're getting into the European circuit of, like, tracks. So, like, we got Imola coming up next, not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Yeah.
And that's obviously, the first race in Europe. And it's going to be... it's going to be exciting to see, but, I think right now, the Constructors' Championship top 5 was McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and Williams. Look at that, Williams right there. Wow, that's awesome. I love to see it. I personally think we might have another Max versus everybody kind of situation.
Yeah.
If he keeps coming in P1 for qualifying, I mean, he's going to just fight tooth and nail to try and be up there as much as possible, which is going to cause a lot of issues for Lando and all of the other people who need to get past him.
Yeah.
Because even though McLaren is pretty damn dominant right now.
They really are. Yeah. But so is there any other like last things that we missed that we wanna before we wrap up?
I think just it's sad to see Alpine go through all of this. I think I'm very curious to see what happens. McLaren obviously is dominating by a lot. It's going to come down to, 3, 4, and in the middle of the pack to see where all the excitement is. We got Calapinto coming, which is going to be interesting to see how he responds.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great couple weeks with races coming up.
Do you guys think it's going to be Oscar or Lando this year? Because Oscar doing 3 in a row is impressive.
I kind of hope it's Lando. If I've seen Lando race from like when he first joined McLaren.
Yeah.
And I mean he's been with McLaren for like ever, right?
Yeah,
he's been through the ups and downs and all that stuff, and he's gone through their shitty time period to when they're now really great, and then for Oscar to come in as a new driver to not go through all the shit that he went through, it's probably like to him he's like, I fucking deserve this shit, right?
For sure.
But and I think Lando has it in him if he's just focused. Like he just needs to stop, like elbows out, no more. And that's with everybody, right? With Lewis and Jeddah, with Max, and now with your teammate, So, I don't know. I hope it is Lando. I do like Oscar a lot, but I hope if anybody wins this year in McLaren, I would hope it's Lando.
Yeah. Lando just needs to grow a set and then just be aggressive, be a champion. And sometimes being a champion means you need to be aggressive and maybe make some contact every once in a while. What is going to be exciting is to see towards the end when Oscar and Lando are fighting for points. Yeah. I do think it's going to come down to the last couple races.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like with the chaos of last year, may have gone into Lando's head a bit on how close he was to actually Max, but how close he could have been had he not DNF that one time and all the little mistakes right throughout the season. And I think he needs to be a little more smarter with what he does on track. I think Oscar can get past. I mean, he got past Max. It wasn't easy, but it feels like he can read the guy easier than Lando can read Max. And so I'm hopeful. I want Lando to do it. I really do.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But my thing that I want to mention was, if you really think about it, the reasoning why Max didn't win some of these races or were up there was because of stupid, unnecessary penalties from his team or from like going off, like just little things, right? Mm-hmm. So like, I don't know. Things could change like that, and that's the excitement of the sport, right? Yeah. Any little thing could happen. We're going to be going into, some of these races in the next couple of weeks. Imola, Monaco. We got, this the one in Spain. We're going to get the Canadian Grand Prix also. That's going to be exciting. And then, I'm pumped for this season, honestly.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be every weekend we're going to be just sitting in front of our TVs waiting to see what the hell happens.
Yeah. Cool. Do you guys want to end it with driver of the weekend kind of thing? Mix it up. Who's your favorite driver this weekend?
Okay. That's a good one.
Who wants to go first? I can. I already
know. I think I agree with you.
I think we're all.
I think we're all in sync.
We're all the same.
Kimi Antonelli is the driver of the weekend for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Kimi, man. That documentary was freaking awesome. Yeah. It was wholesome. It was emotional. It was great, man. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Cool. I do want to just say thank you to everyone who came out to the bar and said hi to us and interviewed with us and allowed us to do all of this. Shout out to Fela for letting us film in there.
Yes.
It was unlike anything I've ever done before.
Completely
it was
different.
Super cool to do. It made me feel like I belong in this type of community. It was just super cool. So thank you everyone for the support and congratulations to the 2 winners.
Yeah, congrats.
They won a hat and a jersey. If you want to see more of that stuff, shoot us a DM, like, comment, whatever you need to do. We'll be happy to do another giveaway for sure. That'll be a good time.
Yeah, I think the F1 fans love getting free merch.
Hell yeah, I love getting free merch.
Yeah, it gives everybody an opportunity to get something free, which is cool, which we understand.
Yeah.
But thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it. See you next time.
For sure. Good stuff.
All right.